So finding your seat. Good, eyes open just for a moment. Hands on heart, hands on belly. Just taking in your environment. Looking around, looking behind, taking the objects. Even up or down. Just noticing where you are, right, orienting to this point in time. And then either eyes open or eyes closed, just attuning to your breath, the rhythm of your breath. Your hands on your body, right? So feeling your body with your hands and feeling your hands with your body. Right, noticing anything in your body, jaw, shoulders, noticing where there might be tightness or sensation, movement. Maybe feeling heartbeat. If you can't with your hands, you can bring your hand or your fingers up on the side of your neck or your wrist. Just the thought of the organs of the heart and lungs, the abdominal, your intestines. And then maybe opening eyes again. I'm just going to play with breath that we've been playing with. Right, inhale, belly, chest, head. Right, we don't have lung tissue in our head, but just the sense of filling. Right, and the breath is going to be through the mouth, inhale and exhale, and almost a sharper inhale, or like you're drawing the breath in, and then an easy exhale. So the inhale is 1, 2, 3, 3 inhales. Exhale fully. Can everybody else hear me, or just Susan can't hear me? I need to speak louder. Susan, can you turn your computer up or your iPad up? Is that better? I didn't really do anything, but when I move further back. All right, so we're just going to play with inhale, 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 exhale. So through the mouth, inhale and exhale. That's what it sounds like. If you can hear me, exhale. Inhale, lower hand, upper hand, head. Exhale. Right back into the inhale, lower hand, upper hand, head. Exhale easy through the mouth. Draw the breath in. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Just pause and notice. Continue breathing through the mouth or through the nose. Eyes open or eyes closed, just feeling the body's response. Again. And just aware of your environment, and we'll do that same breath. We'll do 7 this time. And we want to let the inhale and exhale fold into each other. So there's no pause. But inhale, lower hand, even make a circle with your mouth and draw the breath in like straw. That's helpful. Exhale. Inhale, lower hand, upper hand. head. Easy exhale, soft mouth, soft throat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A little more emphasis on the inhale. Easy exhale. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Hands on legs and eyes open or closed. Let's do one slow inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Suspending the breath. Longer pause. Softening the body, the throat, hands, shoulders, ribs. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, suspend the breath. There may be breath moving in and out on a smaller level. Softening the edges of your body, the edges around the breath, and exhale. And then if you can, just take a few more. Just inhale, rolling into exhale, into inhale, into exhale. Not with that same emphasis on the inhale, but just allowing the breath to really move in and out. Like the tide rolling in and out. Could be through the mouth, could be through the nose. Cycling in, cycling out. Doesn't have to be slow and mindful. It can be a little more of a swish in, swish out. Last 2. Take a slower Kapalabhati. And pause. Good. Palms together in front of your heart. Just observing, noticing. Even with the eyes closed, aware of what's around you, within you, and any sense of like feeling nourished from your environment, or this welling up from within you, or both. And let's open with an Om, letting your Om be an offering either to your body, to your environment, anywhere it is needed. Inhaling. Oh. So let's come on to, I'm just going to turn the fan off. Maybe that'll take some of the sound barrier away. Okay, so let's come on to belly. Good, and you can just take a moment and lay take the arms, either hands under your, stack your hands and put them under your forehead, or you can even take your arms wide and overhead like you're in an X shape, or just let your body kind of hug the ground. Just feeling those, that front body connection to the ground. Front of thighs, belly, chest, head. Okay. And then let's come up onto forearms. So I'm just have weight on my forearms. I'm aware of the weight on my pubic bone. Right, and I'm even going to play with the teeniest, tiniest cat-cow here, right? So I'm going to let my belly soften into the floor, so you feel less weight on the pubis. And then I'm going to curl, right? Curl the tailbone and the sitting bones into the backs of the legs and feel more weight come into my pubis, lower pubis. Maybe there's a little sense of lifting the belly off the floor, starting small. And then the opposite, right? Rolling the weight up the length of the pubis, belly softens into the floor. There's a little lightness in the tailbone and sitting bones. And then the opposite, tailbone moving down towards the pubis, sitting bones moving down into the backs of the thighs. Weight coming into the pubis, less weight on the belly, maybe even the belly lifting off the floor. One more, and small movement, just noticing your range, noticing sensation, and that arching and posterior tilt tucking. And then I'm going to let my belly rest for a moment, letting my breastbone try to draw forward towards my fingertips, letting my eyes lift, head lift, let the neck be long, even pressing down into the forearms to get more length through the upper spine. And then playing with that posterior tilt, tailbone down, sitting bones down, pubis down, and I'm going to round the upper spine as I round the lower spine. So a little more drop on the pubis and the sitting bones, tailbone, lifting the navel, rounding the back. And then again, that anterior tilt, breastbone forward and up, eyes up, weight in the forearms. And posterior tilt, I'm starting from my tailbone, starting from the base of the spine. Rounding, pressing into the forearms in a different way, maybe down and forward as the back rounds, shoulder blades spread, heads drop. And then the opposite, like a wave moving up through the spine. Arching and rounding. And notice where you're initiating from. See if you can maybe initiate from the pelvis. Spine follows. And then maybe initiate from the ribs. Right, spreading the shoulder blades wide, ribs moving back as you round. And ribs moving forward, trying to reach past the hands. It's a different orientation. And then maybe moving from the head. Head lifts. Chin drops. Back of neck lengthens, spine follows. Good, and then pausing in neutral just for a moment. Okay, so tops of the feet on the floor, or you can do toes under, but let's do tops of the feet on the floor for now. And I'm going to put a little weight in my knees if that's aggravating, put something under it. But again, I'm going to play with that little bit of arch. And as I tuck, as the tailbone tucks, as the sitting bones moves into the backs of the thighs, I'm going to put a little weight in my feet, shins, and knees, and lift my pelvis off the floor just a little bit as I round. And then slowly come down and arch. And again, putting weight into the feet, shins, knees, lifting as the tailbone lifts to the pubis and the pubis lifts towards the navel. lifting the pelvis off of the floor. And arching again as I lay pelvis down, belly down, lift the head. And again, weight in feet, shins, knees, lifting pelvis as I round. Last time, arching and tucking. Full body. Good. And center. So I'm just gonna stack my hands again. One cheek to the side, just resting the neck, shoulders. Good. Even feeling as the breath cycles in and out, and you feel the movement. Or lengthening of the front body with the inhale, and lengthening the body with the exhale, or back body with the exhale. Good. Let's come back onto forearms. Good. This time I'm going to turn the toes under. Okay. So we're going to inhale, chest forward, belly soft, belly long. And then as I exhale, tailbone down, sitting bones down. This time pressing into the feet. Maybe the knees stay down. Let's actually keep knees down. Lift the pelvis. I'm still in a posterior tilt. And then I'll lift the shins, if ready. Pause for a moment. See if you can cycle the breath in and out here. Without kind of arching and tucking. And then knees down, pelvis down. Inhale, relax that. Exhale, posterior tilt, knee or pelvis lifts off the floor, knees down for this one. And maybe if you feel ready, knees off the floor. Again, just a cycle of breath. And then knees down, pelvis down. Last one, inhale. Exhale, posterior tilt, tailbone curls towards the pubis, pubis towards the navel. Lifting the pelvis, knees can stay down. If you're ready, lift the knees up. And then lower down. Okay, let's actually stack hands, head to the other side. Good, and then palms under shoulders, pushing up. Toes under and pushing back. So I'm letting my hands press down and forward so I can compress those toes, stretch those toes. Good, and shift forward. And shift back. Good, so again, I'm gonna play with this posterior tilt here, right? I'm gonna start to curl the tailbone forward towards the pubis, towards the backs of the knees, rounding here, lifting the ribs off of the thighs, and come forward and up into a nice cat shape. And then letting the sitting bones lift. The breastbone move forward, the eyes lift, and move back. Again, buttocks to heels. Good, and so I'm noticing that I'm favoring my outer feet. So I'm just gonna roll my feet in a little bit and try to put some weight in the big toes, right? I know that can be challenging, but starting to round again, tailbone down, sitting bones down. Rounding the spine, lifting back up into cat pose. So I'm off of my buttocks. Again, arching and pulling back. Rounding and scooping forward. Again, noticing where the initiation is coming from. Maybe it's the pelvis, maybe it's the ribs, maybe it's the head. And then change that. So from the arch position, right, I'm just going to shift forward, rounding, send the sitting bones down, spine up, shoulder blades wide, head drops, and pull back from that rounded shape. Slowly rolling sitting bones back, breastbone forward, eyes forward, shift my weight forward. Slowly lift spine, spread shoulder blades, let the head and tailbone drop away from the lift of the ribs and pull back. Last time. Sitting bones lift. Breastbone slide forward. Eyes reach forward. Shift forward into a cow. Rounding into a cat. And pull back. Okay. From here, I'm just going to walk my hands in. I'm still rounded. As I come to sit on my heels. Toes are still turned under. Good. And then I'm going to press into my feet. And I'm just going to, a little posterior tilt, shift my weight forward and up. Then uncurl the toes. And sit back. Sitting bones back. I'm just playing with arching, tucking, arching, tucking. Again, a little posterior tilt, pressing into the feet, into the tops of the feet, into the shins, coming forward and up. And then sitting bones move back and down to come down. Okay, so right hand behind, just turning, looking back to the right hand. I'm going to take that left arm and reach it around. So again, the ribs are almost dropping down, back ribs are trying to spread as I reach almost into that space between the right hand and the right foot. And then come up other side, left hand behind, right arm swings around and behind, rounding the back as it rotates, reaching into that space between the hand and the foot. And center. Again, little posterior tilt as I press into my shins to come up. Good, curl the toes under again. And let's come back, sitting bones back and sit. Okay, so again, I'm going to take right arm back behind me. Left arm wrapping around. So I'm rounding the back as I'm rotating and reaching that left hand under the right arm. And come back up. We're just stretching the feet a little if you haven't noticed. Left hand comes behind, right arm wraps around. Good. And center, maybe both hands, maybe both hands come back. You can put hands on blocks. Again, there's a little bit of a posterior tilt to keep the ribs from pushing towards the ceiling. And maybe play with that. Let the ribs lift towards the ceiling in the back arch. And then move the sitting bones towards the backs of the knees, tailbone to pubis. Good. Pressing into the ball of the foot, lift the thighs forward up off of the feet. And down. Press into the feet and slowly come back up. I know that's hard. And come forward, uncurl the toes. And sit back. Wakes you up though. Okay, so now I'm going to come up to my butt. Okay, hands behind me. Feet a little wider than hip distance. I'm just going to shift knees to the right. Drop knees to the right. And lift. I call this knee drop. And knees drop to the left. And lift. And right. And lift and left. Okay, we're going to change something. So lift and right. I'm going to keep the right thigh moving towards the floor, and you can flex the feet or point. And I'm going to lift that left knee up and away. So the right leg's trying to stay on the floor, the left leg's trying to move away from the right leg. And then left knee back towards the floor, to the floor. And so I'm externally rotating as I lift and draw away. Both legs externally rotating. And then left leg's internally rotating. And lift and move away. And drop in and down towards the floor. Lifting your knee to the floor. One more time. Lift that left knee up and away. Feeling the stretch in the inner thighs. Kind of active external rotation. And left knee in and down to the floor, active internal rotation. Good, knees up. And drop knees to the other side. Same thing. So left thigh is trying to stay on the floor as the right knee lifts and moves away. So both legs are actively externally rotating, and then right leg actively internally rotates, comes back to the floor, inner knee down if you can, and up and down. Again, lifting and lowering. And feel what happens when you lift and externally rotate, what turns on. And then when you bring that knee in and down, what is engaging? And knees back to center. Okay, so shifting right. This time pressing into the feet, letting that left hip. So hand can stay on the floor, left hip moves towards the right. And center, knees drop left. And again, press into the feet, into the knees. Right hip keeps moving left. One more time each side. Hands stay on the floor, so I'm also turning the ribs away from the back hand and other direction. Okay, and then we're gonna drop right. I'm gonna shift onto my right hand. Left arm moves out to the side. I'm just gonna swing. Just swing that left leg forward and back. Again, trying not to go in too much of an arch. Ribs stay. They're gonna move. I'm not going into my fullest. So left arm can go out to the side, can go up to the ceiling, can come by the right hand if you need the balance. Just swing it. 3 movement. Front of hip, back of hip. Okay. This one, pause as the leg comes back. Just pause in that position. Leg behind you. The left, right, my left leg's tucked behind the hip. The left hip is still moving forward in space. And then swing that leg forward. Just pause. Flex the left foot. Reach, step into that left foot. Point. Flex. Good. Swing it back, knees up. And over to the other side. So I'm shifting onto my left hip, right arm out, swing forward as it's straight, bend it as it comes back, goes behind the hip, and forward, back, forward, back. And not too much of an arch in the back. Feeling that movement. You can go slower, you can go a bit faster. There's no right rhythm. Maybe sync it with your breath, maybe. Good. One more and then we'll pause. Coming back, let the leg rest. Right hip is still moving forward. Good, inner knee on the floor, shin heavy on the floor. And then swing forward, flex the foot, reach into that right foot. And point and flex. Swing. Okay. Shifting something. Okay, so now I'm going to swing. We're going to go slow to start. Hands, right? You can keep changing the direction of your hands, right? They can be, well, probably not in, but out or back, maybe even in. Just keep changing them. So you're utilizing different parts of your hand and arm. Okay, so I'm gonna tip right, onto the right hand, onto the right hip, left leg swings around. I'm gonna step on that left foot and then swing back. And we'll just go swing left, right? So right leg and right arm swing left, back to center, left arm, left leg swing to right, back and forth. You can take the arm swinging up. You can round as you swing. You can stand as you swing. Good. And pause. We're going to add an element. Okay. So I'm gonna tip right, swing left leg around to the right. This time I'm gonna plant the foot, step on it. So I'm on the right hand, right shin, left foot, and I'm gonna round the back. Like I'm hugging a big ball in my chest and belly, wrapping the arms around it. And come back down. And the other side. Okay, so right arm, right leg, swing left. Bend that right leg, step on the foot, come up onto the left shin, and like wrapping around a big ball. And then lower down and swing to the other side. So a little slower. Find a rhythm that works for you. And let it be graceful. Let it be elegant. Okay. Change any aspect that you want. Last one, and then we're going to edit it. And center. Just to get us spinning around. Okay. All right, so now we're going to slow down again. I'm going to go right. Same thing, left leg, left arm, swing around. I'm going to step onto that left foot. Same thing, I'm going to come up. But I'm going to extend the knee that's on the floor. I'm going to extend it, straighten it back. And put the other hand. Well, let's just take it left arm up to the ceiling since it's already off the floor. And then I'm going to take that left hand down. Keep that right heel off of the floor. Left hand down. Right arm up. Good. And then right hand down. Right shin down. Hip down. Other side. I'm just folding and swinging the right leg to the left. Step on the right foot. So right hand is off the floor. So you can put the hand on the floor to extend the left leg, or you can just lift that left knee and step that left leg back. Right arm up, look up to the hand. And then right hand comes down, left heel stays off the floor. Little balance. You can draw the feet towards each other or spread them apart. Left arm up, look up. And left hand down, left shin down, swing to the first side. All right, so fold everything in, left leg swings around. So it's right hand, left foot, come on to that right shin and just step that right leg back, left arm up. Left hand down, right arm up. Good, right hand down, fold the knees in, swing back through center, other side. Stepping on right foot, left hand, step the left leg back, right arm up. Right arm comes down. Left arm up, left heel can stay up. Left hand down, fold everything in, swing around one more time each side, just because it's fun, just because it feels good. Left leg swings around, step on the left foot, extend that right leg back, reach that left arm up. Good, left hand comes down, right arm up. Right hand down, fold everything in, swing around to the second side, last time. Right, stepping onto the right foot, left hand is down, slide the left foot back, reach up with the right arm, look up, and then right hand down, left arm up, a little more challenging with the back heel up, and down, hold everything in, and come back through center. Yay! Okay, Feet together, knees apart. Hands behind. Good. Good. Straighten one leg. Good. And fold that leg in, straighten the other leg. Good. And switch again. Good. Arms forward. You can have the hands on the floor. If you feel like you're rolling back, you can put a blanket under your sitting bones or take the bent leg foot a little forward or have hands behind or hands on the floor. So arms forward. I'm just going to shift towards the bent leg. So as I do so, the right or the straight leg sitting bone is off the floor, but I'm going to reach through that right heel to come back up. And then I'm going to tip over the straight leg. And spine nice and long, neck long, little bit of a side bend. But pressing into both legs to come up, tipping towards the bent leg. Again, reaching through that straight leg. And up. One more time towards the straight leg. And up. Little shift of the arms. So now I'm going to reach towards the straight leg. So bent leg, that same arm is going to reach towards the straight leg. Again, really working the legs to stay up. And center. And tipping towards the straight leg, reaching that bottom arm towards the bent knee. And up. One more time, just for fun. Reaching the bottom arm now, right, as I tip towards the bent leg. Reach towards the straight leg. Maybe even lift the straight leg up just for a moment. Reach through all your limbs. And then slowly come up. Last time, bending towards the straight leg. And neutral. This time, hands on the floor, turning towards the straight leg. So as you turn towards the straight leg, that bent leg can actually anchor your pelvis so your ribs can turn away from your back thigh. And then turning towards the bent leg. So my straight leg sitting bone is on the floor as I turn. So I'm still somewhat back. I'm not pulling forward towards the front leg. I'm still back in back leg and front leg. One more time, turning towards straight leg. Then pelvis, pubis is going to turn, but the sitting bones are still heavy. And then turning towards the bent leg. Good, and then I'm going to let my back leg, my straight leg, internally rotate as I turn the pelvis towards the bent knee. But pulling the knees towards each other, front to back, left to right, to help almost support the pelvis, a little bit off of the floor, right? Rather than just sitting on my flexibility, I'm going to engage my tissue. Fingertips, you can have blocks under your hands. Good, maybe arms out to the side. Again, pulling knees towards each other. Maybe arms up, maybe. Good. And then coming back. All right, so lowering hands, externally rotating the straight leg. Good, bending the straight leg. And switch. Okay, arms forward. Tipping towards the bent leg. And up. Good, letting the head drop. Tipping towards the straight leg. And up. Maybe even initiating from the head, tipping towards the bent leg. And up, if that feels okay. If it doesn't, then try something else. Tipping towards the bent leg. Maybe there's a little bit more rounding to get the back side body, or maybe there's turning and looking up to get more front side body. center. One more time towards the bent leg. Right, I'm really pressing into the legs to support the movement of my torso, to support the weight of my torso. And center. Okay, let's do our one little side. Maybe lift the straight leg. And then down, slide that left heel away to come up. And then towards the straight leg. And up, arms wide. So bottom arm reaches towards the straight leg as I fold, a different use of the arms and the weight. And up, bottom arm reaches towards the bent leg as I fold over the straight leg. And up, right, a little bit more of a rotation here. Bending towards the straight leg, bottom arm reaching towards the bent leg, reaching towards the straight leg. And switch, folding over the straight leg, reaching towards the bent leg. And switch. I think we did one more. Over the bent leg. And up. And over the straight leg. And up. Good. Hands on the floor. Turning towards the straight leg. Good. You can even point and flex. If there's a lot of tightness in the calves, right, playing with that foot movement. Sometimes it's not the hamstring as much as the calves. And then turning towards the bent knee. So the straight leg sitting bone is still on the floor as I turn towards the bent leg. And reaching through the straight leg to turn even more. Doesn't have to be the biggest turn, but just feeling that partnership, turning towards the straight leg. Right, helping. Bent leg is helping. And turn towards the bent leg. Straight leg is helping. Okay, and then I'm going to play with hands or no hands, turning towards. So the straight leg is going to internally rotate. The thigh and the knee are going to turn towards the floor as I turn the pelvis towards the front knee, the bent knee. So ideally, the hips come off the floor a little bit to get the pelvis face forward. Pull the knees towards each other. Hands can be down, hands can be on blocks, or arms out to the side. Pulling the knees towards each other, front, back, left, right. And then maybe the arms up. And out and down. Maybe externally rotate the back leg to come back out. Good. Feet together. And two straight legs. Yay. Okay, let's come up to stand for a moment. Let's actually do one thing at the wall. So you don't need much wall space. You just need to put your hand on the wall. So fingers facing up to start. Hand in line with the height of the shoulder, right? Depends on your wrist. If your wrist is really tight, you may need to bring the hand a little higher. But I'm just going to turn the feet away from the wall. Just going to do a circle with my opposite arm. So if my right hand's on the wall, left hand is going to sweep up in front of me and out to the left. And down. Okay, and then I'm going to turn my fingers of the right hand now towards behind me. They're pointing to the right. My feet are turning towards the center of the room. Again, left arm is going to move up towards the ceiling, out to the left, and down to the feet. And then I'm going to take my left hand on my right, kind of underarm, side breast, and try to lift the breast up and draw it towards the center of the room. Good, and then release. Let's do the other side. So left hand on the wall, fingers up.
Again, but I'm turning my feet towards the center of the room. So I'm turning away from my hand. My hand is spreading into the wall. I'm trying to make as much contact. I think I'm making a print on the wall. Nice, good handprint. Reaching that right arm up to the ceiling just to help lift the front body. Keep that sense of the chest, the breast tissue, the breastbone lifting as I take the arm up and out, out to the right and down. Fingertips facing the left or the back of me, the wall behind me. And again, taking that arm up, right arm up to the ceiling or the opposite arm up, lifting your kind of side body up, back body up, front body up, and right arm comes out and down. Again, right hand to that outer left, right, the armpit into the breast tissue. I'm just going to try to lift that outer left breast up and turn it towards the center of the room, away from the hand. Away from the hand. Good, and then release. Okay, one more. I'm going to take my hand now pointing down towards the floor. And again, if the wrist is really tight, your hand may be lower than your shoulder. Spreading as much of the hand as you can into the floor. So this time I'm just going to grab that breast tissue, outer right breast tissue. The right hand's on the wall. Again, turning the feet away, maybe the feet a little wider. And I'm just going to play with even grabbing the ribs, those right side ribs, even the back ribs, and trying to lift them up. So I'm going to pull the ribs up almost like a Ustrasana, almost like a camel, right? Lifting the chest forward and up. Maybe the head tips back. And then release a little and then try it again. Right, ribs move forward and up. Then a little posterior tilt in the pelvis. Front ribs trying to find the pubic bone trying to find the front ribs. As you lift the chest, maybe the head drops back. Maybe not. Other side. Left hand on the wall. Again, could be lower and shoulder height. Folding right outer breast, outer ribs, turning away from the wall just a little. Again, I'm just going to play with lifting the ribs. Little bit of a back bend in the upper spine. Again, that slight sense of lifting of the pubis to the ribs, front lower ribs, dropping the front lower ribs to the pubis hard, but lifting back lift ribs up and forward. One more time, up to the ceiling, forward to the center of the room. One more. And eventually we're going to go toward a little bit of a back bend move. Right, a little bit eventually. Okay. And coming down. All right, standing. I know, that's challenging, but it gets the chest open. Okay, so feet a little wider. Well, actually, let's do one other one before we do that one. No, let's do that one. So feet a little wider. Not our widest, just building some focus on the legs. So bending knees, arms wide, just tipping over one leg. Same kind of the arm closest to the leg I'm bending to, reaching to the opposite side and up. And again, right, just feeling the weight through the feet and legs. One more time, first side and second side. And straight legs, just shifting hips, right and left. Okay. And then feet together. And we're going to play with just a little bit of stepping forward, stepping back. So I'm going to plant my left foot. So slightly internally rotated sometimes makes it easier to balance, or just neutral. Right? If it's externally rotated, it tends to put us more in our outer body or lateral body. Let's see where we're going. Feet together. Left leg's planted. Left leg stays straight. We've done this one before. I'm going to step forward with my right foot and step back to center. Step back. So the left leg that's planted stays straight. And step forward. Now I'm stepping out at a diagonal a little bit, slightly forward and out to the side. And step back. And then I'm going to go same diagonal, back across, behind. Bending the back knee. And up. Maybe even bending both knees, a little curtsy. Again, just a little bit of a balance challenge. And come up and step forward. Right leg steps out to the side and bends. And steps in. Again, I'm going to step across. Good, maybe bend both knees again, maybe. And step in. This time I'm going to turn and let that right leg step out and back. And bend. Oh, I was going to step forward, but let's do it. And then step in and then step forward and across. And step in. And then just drawing the knee up. Right knee in, no hands. And down, and again, up. And down, other side. And it's really just a balance prep. Looks funny. So I'm going to stabilize the right foot. Right leg stays straight. Okay, stepping forward with the left leg. Right leg straight, left knee bends. And stepping back in. And then I'm going to go straight back. Straight back. Right. Back knee bends. Front leg stays straight. That one's hard. And center. Slight diagonal forward. Not too far. And back. Slight diagonal back. Maybe bend both knees for a moment towards the floor. And straighten. And center out to the side. Bend the traveling leg. And center, and again across. You can even go in front and across if you'd like. And maybe bend. Little funny curtsy. And straight. Feet together. And turning towards the back of the room. Externally rotate that back leg. Bend it. Step on it. Feet together. Now step it forward and across the straight leg. And feet together. And then lift the left knee. Notice the right foot learned something. And down. And lift. Yay. And down. Okay, left foot stays on the floor. Right knee up. Right knee out. Toes to the inner leg. Just the toes. Arms out or up. Arms out, just kick. And feet together. Good, switch, standing on the other leg. Knee up. Knee out. Just the tip of the toe to the inner leg. And arm up. Good, and out. I'm just gonna flick. And down. Yay. Okay. I think that's enough. All right, let's come back onto our backs. So blocks, blanket, handy. Let's do one downward dog. before we lay down. If you haven't already laid down, if you want to stay down, you can. Downward dog. And just aware of your breath. And we're winding down, so not much kind of activating strength, just really noticing the weight in the hands, right? I'm noticing I favor my outer hands and outer feet. Just noticing, just quietly spreading some weight into my inner hands and in your feet. Big toes, thumbs, pointer fingers. Noticing neck and throat. Just minimizing any excess force, strength. Just balancing, smoothing out. And knees down. And making your way onto your back with your 2 blocks handy. With 1 block, that's also fine. If you have 2 blankets, that's also fine. So I'm going to take my 2 blocks, lowest height. Actually, let's stack it. Let's go a little higher, just getting the legs above the heart. So I'm going to take my feet closer to my sitting bones, again, feeling where my pelvis is, letting it roll towards an anterior tilt. Posterior tilt, using the posterior tilt to scoop sitting bones up, roll the sacrum up, lower spine up, and sliding 1 block under the pelvis. Walking the feet out, heels down, pelvis heavy. You can even lift the ribs and scoot them away from the block while the pelvis is still heavy on the block. This might be sufficient for you. If you want to turn the block up on its side or add the 2nd block, that's what we're going to do next. Again, walk the feet close in to the block. Again, anterior tilt, posterior tilt. Use that posterior tilt and the lift of the heels to lift the back of the pelvis up. Plant, place the pelvis, and then walk the feet out and the heels down. And again, pelvis is heavy on the blocks. I'm just going to hold the blocks, lift the ribs, just pull them away from the blocks. Good. And I actually ended up tipping my blocks. So the block side, the block closest to the feet is slightly off the floor. Blocks are slightly angled towards the head. Just pause and breathe. Okay. You can either stay here if you'd like. You can even bring your knees apart. You don't even have to walk the feet together. Or you can bring the feet together. If you'd like to invert a little bit more, you can bring the 1 knee up, right knee up, left knee up over the pelvis. Arms can be alongside the body on the floor. You can even stay with the knees bent. Same, all the effects happen. Or you can play with straightening the legs. Or you just really want to find some ease. So the placement of the legs in relationship to the pelvis is finding a relationship that feels supportive or easy, not working. It's more just Kind of balance. A little bit of support. Even separate the feet a little bit to really allow the pelvis to become heavy, right? That the support of the legs is grounded onto the block rather than the legs trying to support and the legs settling into that ground or base. Right, whether feet are wide or feet are together, and just listening for what your body's, how your body's responding. Knees can be bent. And really follow what feels right. And then coming back to your breath. Letting the breath cycle in and out. Again, looking for the space, just at this moment where there are no pauses between the inhale and the exhale. Right, we're not going to have it be a swishing breath like we did in the beginning. But maintaining that relationship to the cycle of the breath just for this moment. So the rhythmic inhale, exhale. Softening around that rhythm, jaw, throat, neck, face, shoulders, legs, belly, back. As if the breath were supporting the pose. And then let's bend the knees. Maybe cross the ankles just for a breath. Change the cross of the ankles. Slowly, slowly lower the legs down, either one at a time or feet together. Slow, slow, listening for the body's cues. Just feeling that opening, front hip, front leg, back of neck, softness in the throat. Good, walking the feet close to the blocks. Lift the heels, again, posteriorly tilt to lift the hips up. Slide the block out and slowly lower the hips down. So if you just turn your block up, then turn it down. So we're just kind of moving down slowly. Yeah, you have a second block, or you turn that first block down, little posterior tilt. Using the back of the pelvis, engaging the legs, back of pelvis, and letting the spine really round as you lay it down. So there's this almost gentle pressure on the spine as you lay it down. It's reminding the vertebra that they can separate. All right. You can roll something up and put that under your thighs if you like, or you can just pause here for a few breaths. Keep the knees bent. You can even just do a little swish side to side if your body feels like it needs that. Just dropping knees gently, maybe not even all the way to the right, just a little. Then across the back of the pelvis. Good. A simple, simple. Stretch the legs out and pause. Rest. Let your body settle back. But feeling the support underneath you. Feeling the support of your room, your home. Your home space. And the environment around. So maybe even just staying in your room for a moment. So even though there might be stuff happening outside the walls of your house that may feel challenging or supportive, just feeling what the quality inside is. And then you touch into the quality inside of you. What is being fostered in you, nourished in you, awakened in you, expanded in you. Softening back into the awareness of the support, your presence. And then maybe if you want more, and if you need more support, if you'd like to touch out into the trees, the stars, and the moon that is still on the fuller side, that quality of the equinox, balance point. The balance of the light and the dark, moving out and moving in. Touching back into your breath, your body, the feeling in your body. And very gently, very slowly, wiggling fingers and toes, bending your knees, stretching, rolling body, rolling onto your side. You can also stay down if you need to, if that feels appropriate, and slowly come up to sit. And if you're staying down, stay down. Continue to feel, soften, listen, settle, receive.
palms together in front of your heart. Just we'll do just three, right? The sound of the heart center. Yam, Y-A-M, yam. We'll just do three yams. And the vibration for your body, your environment, community, offering. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.